Between the fading blush of sunset and the first rising glow of the moon, there is a sliver of time that feels suspended. In myth and in song, that suspended moment is a doorway. It leads to a land where twilight is not a transition, but a permanent state of being. The stories told around fires by wanderers and children speak of a realm where the edges of day and night blur, and the light takes on hues that do not exist on the mortal world. This place is called the Feywild, and it calls to those who have ever dreamed of a world shaped by their feelings. A person who has entered describes the air as heavy with scent and sound. The leaves of trees are slick with dew that tastes faintly of honey and thunder. Colors shift and deepen in response to the observer's gaze. The simple act of watching becomes an act of creation as paths brighten or dim and shadows lengthen or recede. Nothing here is passive. Each stone hums quietly with memory. Each flower turns to watch your passage. The very soil seems aware of the weight of your footfall. Before I move forward, we are counting on you to support our channel by clicking that tiny subscribe button so that we can bring more of these amazing legends and lore to life. Thank you. Many tales begin with someone following a whisper or a song into the woods. They pass through a ring of mushrooms glowing faintly under the twilight, or walk beneath an arch of intertwined branches that shimmer like spun glass. Often they do not realize they have crossed a boundary until the air thickens and the world shifts. Suddenly the sunlight takes on a permanent dusky quality, and the sky becomes a tapestry of stars woven into twilight. Trees lean closer as if to listen. Birds with feathers like shards of emerald and sapphire flit from branch to branch, singing in languages a mortal tongue does not speak. Time slows and stretches. Moments feel like hours, and yet hours can vanish in what seems like an instant. Those who linger find themselves losing track of how long they have been away. This fluidity is a hallmark of the realm, and those who do not anchor themselves to memory risk being swept along like leaves in a stream. From the outset, the dual nature of the place is apparent. Its beauty is overwhelming, and its danger is subtle and pervasive. Streams that sparkle in the twilight can conceal sharp rocks and deep currents. Blossoms perfumed beyond description can exude pollen that induces deep sleep or vivid dreams that never end. Laughter carries on the breeze, but so do sobs and screams. The air itself seems to whisper secrets and to ask questions. Newcomers must come to terms with a landscape that is alive and responsive. The world looks back at you and expects you to behave accordingly. This is not a paradise for those who want to escape consequences. It is a mirror that reflects emotions and amplifies them until they shape the land around you. Those who enter with kindness find the world softening beneath their feet. Those who carry anger see roots twist and paths lengthen. The twilight sky is its own tapestry. There is no single sun and moon. Instead, motes of light drift like fireflies, and constellations rearrange themselves nightly. Stories say that the patterns in the sky reflect the dreams of those sleeping beneath it. The sky brightens when joy spreads and darkens when sorrow flows. In some regions, the twilight glows warm and golden, hinting at the influence of a benevolent being. In others, it chills to blues and purples when a winter spirit passes. The sky is not just a ceiling, but a participant. It listens to music. It responds to stories. Sometimes travelers hear the sky sing back to them in chimes and whispers. Seeing this sky for the first time can break the heart open. It is both familiar and alien, a reminder that this realm is a reflection of the mortal world cast through a prism of living emotion. One of the first lessons travelers learn is that logic will not guide you here. A straight path may twist around itself when you are in doubt. A river might flow uphill if you are determined. Maps drawn meticulously become obsolete the moment they are inked, because the land takes offense at being pinned down. The Feywild is a conversation. It asks where you are going and why. It listens to your answer. If your heart is conflicted, the land will reflect that conflict with confusing crossroads. If your purpose is clear, the way may open before you as trees move their branches aside. This dynamic quality makes the realm unnerving to those used to control. Yet, it also offers an unprecedented opportunity. A person willing to listen and to adapt can forge a path where none existed. Every step is a negotiation. Every moment is a choice that resonates through the environment. The stories of those first steps into Twilight often end with a warning. Do not think that wonder means safety. Do not mistake delight for kindness. Do not eat the fruit offered freely without considering what you will offer in return. Words and actions carry weight here that they do not carry elsewhere. Each promise is a binding thread. Each insult can echo through the trees. The realm itself remembers. If you step into the Feywild without respect, you may be shut out or led astray. If you step in with an open heart, you may be led to wonders you never imagined. The introduction ends with an invitation. Walk with caution and joy. The world you are about to explore will challenge you to be present and will reward you with experiences that linger long after you leave. The following sections will explore the ways the Feywild heightens emotion, distorts space and time, invites travelers through hidden gates, thrums with life both gentle and cruel, organizes itself into courts and dominions, hides depths beneath its twilight floor, functions as a great engine of magic, tells stories through encounters, and reflects upon those who dare to step inside. Together they will paint a picture of a realm that is as vibrant and dangerous as the emotions that flow through it. Emotion in the Feywild is not merely internal. It externalizes in flowers blooming or wilting, in streams sparkling or dulling, and in the paths themselves growing longer or shorter. A person who arrives with joy in their heart will see animals approach without fear, and blossoms unfurl in brilliant colors. Their laughter will echo and cause tree branches to sway gently, as if in applause. A person carrying grief will see leaves droop and shadows lengthen. The land responds in real time. This responsiveness forces travelers to confront their own moods. If you are anxious, the ground beneath your feet may feel spongy and unstable. If you are calm, the trail may firm and straighten. Guides whisper that you must tend your thoughts as carefully as your supplies. The senses are heightened here to an almost unbearable degree. Scents are rich and layered. A berry tastes of every summer you have ever known. Water from a stream seems to hold the memory of rain and rock and sunlight. Sounds are crisp. The crack of a twig resembles a laugh. The rustle of leaves hints at a secret. Music carries on the wind, even when no musician is seen. Many Fae create melodies as they move. Each note influences the environment. Hearing your name whispered on a breeze might be an invitation or a trap. Learning to distinguish between the sound of a dryad's welcome and the hiss of a lurking predator is essential. The plain rewards those who listen with their hearts as much as their ears. Time is malleable in this realm. In some groves, a day can stretch into weeks when you leave. You might spend what feels like hours dancing with sprites, only to return home and find decades have passed. In other places, time compresses. A journey across a vast valley might take minutes in your perception, while only moments pass in the mortal world. Time can even flow differently within the same day, depending on your emotional state. When you are bored, paths stretch. When you are excited, they fly by. Archfey sometimes manipulate this flow for their own purposes, slowing or speeding the clocks for mortals who please or displease them. Understanding that time is subjective here is part of navigating. You must be prepared to accept the consequences when you return. You might find generations gone or nothing changed. Memory is as slippery as time. The Feywild can loosen your grasp on certain memories while sharpening others. You might leave without recalling the faces of those you met or even the tasks you completed. Some creatures and plants feed on memories. A vine might brush against you and steal your recollection of a childhood song. A pool might invite you to whisper a painful memory into its depths in exchange for relief. Others may gift memories. A humming plant could impart a vision of a loved one when you rest your head against it. Memory is traded in some markets. A secret might be sold for a story. Travelers often bind their memories with tokens. They tie strings around fingers or carry mementos to anchor their experiences. The knowledge that forgetting is possible adds both terror and freedom. You may return to the mortal world changed by things you cannot articulate. The contagious nature of emotion means that one person's mood can alter the entire landscape. If you laugh spontaneously, others nearby may feel joy rising within them. If you brood, gloom may spread like mist. Group dynamics thus matter. In a party where there is tension, the path might become twisted and obstacles may arise. In a party unified by purpose, the trail may open. Tales tell of travelers who overcame adversity by shifting their attitudes. A moment of compassion could cause thorns to retract. A burst of anger might call down a storm. The land magnifies internal states. This aspect of the Feywild teaches that personal discipline and emotional awareness are survival tools, not just niceties. Even native creatures are born of emotion. Pixies are the embodiment of joy and curiosity. They dart around, leaving trails of glitter that smell of summer. They play pranks that are meant to amuse and sometimes to teach humility. They may bind your shoelaces together, but also guide you to a glade where a hidden treasure lies. Dryads reflect the mood of the trees they inhabit. A grove with happy dryads will welcome you with open arms. A grove with angry dryads might twist branches to block your path. Satyrs radiate mirth. Their dances draw out the desires of those around them. The monsters here also embody emotion. Displacer beasts play with fear. Hags twist envy and greed into curses. Fomorians seethe with ancient bitterness. Every creature you meet is a manifestation of a feeling. Understanding this helps you respond appropriately, with respect or caution. Traversing this realm requires emotional readiness. Before you set foot on a Feywild path, you must consider what you carry inside. Weapons and spells are tools, but your heart and intentions are more powerful. To survive and thrive, you must be willing to face your own feelings and to regulate them. Those who cannot may find themselves lost in labyrinths created by their own doubts. Those who can may find hidden doors opened by a single tear or a heartfelt laugh. Through this focus on sensation and feeling, the Feywild insists that its visitors be present. It invites growth and punishes denial. Hidden behind the beauty are storms of feeling that roll across hills like weather. A surge of collective anger can whip the wind into a frenzy. Joy can cause rain made of glittering pollen to fall. Suppressed sadness might manifest as mist that obscures paths. Travelers who ignore their grief may find themselves walking in circles, as the land waits for them to acknowledge it. One folk tale tells of a warrior who refused to weep after his comrades fell. He pressed on, stoic and silent. The ground softened under his boots, and he sank deeper with each step. Only when he sat down and cried did the earth release him. In that moment, flowers bloomed around him, each one bearing the face of a fallen friend for a heartbeat before fading. The realm does not reward numbness, it honors honesty. The next section will show how this living emotion expresses itself through the very land, altering forests, mountains and rivers in ways that defy mortal understanding. The geography of the Feywild echoes the mortal world in broad strokes, but diverges in every detail. Mountains here do not simply rise, they thrust into the sky like spears carved from crystal and emerald. Their slopes are cloaked in trees that shimmer with metallic bark and leaves that glow faintly under the twilight. Rivers cut through the land in patterns that seem to respond to a song. A melody hummed at the bank can cause a river to slow or quicken. The water is so clear that you can see stones polished to colors found nowhere else. Valleys between these heights expand into meadows bursting with flowers whose petals are translucent and refract the twilight into rainbows. The terrain is dramatic and luminous. It invites admiration and caution. Climbs that look impossible may become effortless if you approach with humility. Paths that appear straightforward may twist back on themselves if you walk with arrogance. Navigation in such a landscape requires more than a map. Distances do not behave as they do in the mortal world. A hill that looks a half-mile away can take days to reach if you doubt yourself. Yet a distant mountain may be only a few steps if your heart is certain. Two people walking side by side can arrive at the same destination at different times because their inner states differ. The land reads the walker and adjusts. Maps drawn by mortals fail because as soon as you try to fix the land on paper, it changes to avoid being confined. Stories tell of explorers who tried to measure and chart the Feywild, only to find their tools malfunctioning and their ink disappearing from parchment. The realm resists being bound. It demands that you learn to listen to it rather than impose your will upon it. Instead of compass, you use intuition. Instead of trail markers, you use songs and feelings. Forests are perhaps the most emblematic features of this plane. Trees in the Feywild are older than any in the mortal world. They twist and braid together to form natural archways and tunnels. The light filters through leaves in patterns that evoke stained glass. The undergrowth is thick with ferns, mushrooms, and flowers. Some mushrooms glow softly, providing a map of sorts through the darkness. Others release spores that cause you to see visions or hear whispers. Birds with iridescent feathers flit above, their calls blending with the creak of branches into a constant song. In the deepest groves, time may slow to a crawl. Dew hangs on a leaf for an hour without falling. Elsewhere in a forest, time may whirl. Blossoms bloom and wilt in minutes. The woods are places of refuge and of peril. To walk them is to be enveloped by a living entity that responds to your every breath. Open spaces in the Feywild hold their own magic. Rolling hills covered in grass that glitters like diamonds under the twilight give way to fields of tall plants that whisper as you pass. The whispers are not mere rustling. They speak in languages not heard anywhere else. Meadows are dotted with flowers as large as shields. Their petals hum when the wind touches them. You may stumble upon a solitary stone arch rising in a field. Such arches can be gates. Some lead to other regions of the plane. Others lead to different worlds or to the domains of powerful beings. Without knowledge or guidance, You cannot know which is which. The arch tests those who pass with riddles or sensations. Passing through an arch is always an act of faith. Water features reflect more than light. Lakes act as mirrors of emotion. Look into one when you are calm, and you might see scenes of beauty. Look when you are angry, and you might see storms. Some ponds sparkle with inner light. They are known as fairy pools. Drink from them, and you may see a glimpse of a possible future or a forgotten past. Bathe in them, and you might find yourself elsewhere entirely. Streams that disappear underground and re-emerge miles away do so following an unseen logic. Travelers sometimes throw tokens into streams, hoping they will carry their wishes to someone who can grant them. The water here is alive with possibility and with risk. Even the sky and the ground interact. The sky can darken or brighten in response to songs. The ground can rise and fall gently, like a sleeping beast breathing. In some places, the land literally moves. Hills wander over decades, or in response to an archfey's mood. Crevasses open and close. Caves appear where none existed. This fluidity makes the geography ever-changing. Seasoned guides do not rely on memory alone. They talk to the land. They feel the pulse of the soil with bare feet. They listen for the hum of crystals underground. In doing so, they read signs invisible to others. They can tell when a path is safe or when it leads to a trap. They know which wildflowers lean towards safety and which lean towards danger. Below the surface lies another world. Caverns filled with glowing fungi and crystal formations mirror the forests above. These caves connect to what many call the Feydark, a deeper exploration reserved for another section. The presence of these subterranean spaces affects the land above. Sinkholes can open without warning. Streams can vanish into the earth only to reappear elsewhere. Echoes from below can be heard as faint songs. The surface and the depths are connected like two layers of the same fabric. The unpredictable paths of the Feywild do not end at ground level. They extend into the roots of the world. Understanding the land's unpredictability teaches humility. You cannot conquer this terrain. You can negotiate with it. You can align your intentions with its rhythms. Those who move gently and with respect often find the land aiding them. Those who try to force their way frequently encounter dead ends and thorns. The next section discusses how to find the gates that connect this realm to others and the journeys that follow through them. In addition to mountains and forests, the Feywild holds wonders that have no analogue in the mortal world. There are floating groves where trees drift like ships anchored by invisible currents. To climb into a floating grove, you must catch a branch as it dips near the ground and trust it to lift you. The air up there tastes of lightning and sap. These groves drift on winds influenced by emotion. Sorrow brings them low. Hope lifts them high. Entire communities of sprites live in such groves and speak of storms that never touch them. Elsewhere, crystal reefs erupt from the ground, glittering like frozen waves. Walking among these formations, you hear the hum of the plain itself. Each crystal sings a note that resonates with a feeling. Touching them can calm or agitate your mind. There are also wandering forests. These are not just trees that move, but entire ecosystems that migrate across valleys and mountains. At night, the trunks uproot themselves with creaks and sighs and shuffle to new locations, sometimes miles away by dawn. Travelers who sleep beneath their boughs may wake to find themselves in a completely different part of the plain. Stories tell of mortals who lived their whole lives following a wandering forest, aging with it and learning its secrets. In this realm, even the concept of land as fixed is challenged. The interplay of movement and stillness becomes a lesson. Understanding such fluidity is part of respecting the plane. The next section discusses how to find the gates that connect this realm to others and the journeys that follow through them. Hidden throughout the mortal world are thresholds to the Feywild. These gates take many forms. A ring of mushrooms illuminated in twilight is one. A circle of ancient stones on a misty hill is another. A clear pool whose depths reflect scenes unknown can also be a portal. Some gates are always open, and you can step through as easily as crossing a stream. Others open only at certain times. Dusk and dawn are the most common. Equinoxes and solstices thin the barrier even more. Celebrations and tragedies can weaken the veil unexpectedly. Many mortals wander into the Feywild by accident after following lights or voices. They find themselves in a place both like and unlike home. Fairy pools serve as portals. These bodies of water may lie deep in forests or high in mountains. They shimmer with internal light. Drinking from or stepping into such a pool can transport you. Where you arrive depends on intention and chance. Travelers who approach respectfully with a clear desire often land in gentle regions or in courts that align with their goals. Those who drink thoughtlessly may end up in swampy domains ruled by hags. Some pools are guarded by creatures who ask riddles or require offerings. Others remain unguarded, but have their own tests. Once you pass through a pool, you may not be able to return the same way. The pool might vanish or demand a different price. Living beings can also open gates. Unicorns have the ability to create shimmering bridges between worlds. Trents, ancient tree spirits, can open hollows in their trunks that lead not to Heartwood, but to other forests. These living gates rarely act on a whim. They require a reason and a promise. They might help someone pure of heart or someone who has aided them. They might refuse those who carry iron or ill intent. To be guided by such a being is a gift and a responsibility. If they escort you into the Feywild, they may expect you to perform a task or deliver a message. Some regions in the mortal world are permanently infused with Feywild magic. Mountain peaks wrapped in constant mist, deep forests untouched by axes, deserts where mirages dance at dawn. In these places, the veil is so thin that the two planes overlap. You can walk in a meadow and see glimpses of creatures moving in the corner of your eye. You can hear music from nowhere. Entering these overlapping zones is risky. Without realizing it, you might step fully into the Feywild or wander back into the mortal world, having forgotten which is which. The permanent mixing of worlds causes time and navigation to become even more unpredictable. In these zones, seasons might flicker between autumn and spring within a single day. Leaving the Feywild is often harder than entering. The plane seems to hold on to those who have set foot on its soil. Partly this is because travelers often leave a piece of themselves behind. A tear, a laugh, a promise made. These pieces become part of the realm, and the realm does not like to let them go. Those who leave with unpaid debts or unfulfilled promises may be drawn back. Sometimes they are pulled through mirrors or through dreams. There are countless stories of people who thought they had escaped, only to find themselves back in the Feywild without meaning to. To avoid this, you must pay what you owe. If you accept a gift, you must give something in return. If you promise to come back, you must either do so or find a way to nullify the vow. Time distortion complicates departures. You might leave thinking days have passed, only to discover years gone or no time at all. Those who attempt to use the Feywild as a shortcut risk arriving hundreds of years too early or too late. Magic that involves teleportation or plane shifting is unreliable. You might aim for your home and end up in the court of a winter queen. Divination spells often fail to predict outcomes in the Feywild because the plane delights in subverting expectations. Therefore, those planning to use the Feywild as part of a journey must accept uncertainty. They must prepare for a life that may change beyond recognition upon return. Crossings are guarded by tests. A fox might demand a story before letting you pass. A frog might insist you sing. A patch of nettles might sting you until you slow down and become present. These small trials align the traveler's mind with the plane. They force you to speak truth and to engage with the land rather than rushing through. Those who respect these tests find their journeys easier. Those who resent them often face greater challenges. Experienced guides know the etiquette. They bring gifts of bread and honey for brownies. They refrain from using iron. They speak in riddles when required. Such knowledge is as important as any weapon or spell. Fae who have spent centuries in the plane know where gates appear. They can feel a change in the air or hear a note that signals an opening. They use these gates to travel between their domains or to visit the mortal world. However, even they can be surprised. The plane opens and closes passages according to its own rhythm. A ring of mushrooms might be safe one year and deadly the next. A stone arch might lead to a summer court one month and to a swamp the next. This unpredictability ensures that no map or list of gates remains accurate for long. Travelers must always be ready for the unknown. Understanding gates and journeys helps prepare one for the life within. It underscores that intention, respect, and adaptability are key. The next section will examine the life that thrives inside the Feywild, the plants, animals, and magical forces that make this realm so intoxicating and so perilous. There are also more subtle gates that defy obvious description. Fog banks that roll across moors at twilight may enfold you, and when they lift, you stand in a glade you have never seen. Fallen tree trunks may form bridges over streams, but if you cross with your eyes closed and your mind clear, you might find the stream runs with starlight on the other side. Some gates appear only when two people holding hands speak a certain word. Others respond to music played on instruments carved from the plane itself. Guardians watch many of these less obvious crossings. An old woman might sit on a stump, knitting and humming. She is in truth a guardian of that threshold. A beetle might cross your path, pause, and look up at you. If you follow its path, you may find a door hidden among roots. Learning to see and respect these small signs can make the difference between a passage taken in grace and a misstep that leads to trouble. Those who heed the watchful eyes of guardians often find their way eased. Those who brush past them risk drawing the attention of creatures that resent being ignored. Life in the Feywild explodes in diversity and intensity. Trees tower with trunks that shimmer like polished metal. Some are known as starleaf oaks, their wood resonating when carved into instruments. Others have bark woven with veins of gold and silver. These trees are sacred, and cutting them invites the ire of the forest. Beneath them, mushrooms of every color and size carpet the ground. Some emit gentle light. Others release spores that cause dreams or questions. Flowers bloom in shapes unseen elsewhere. Transparent roses refract light into rainbow arcs. Lilies chime like bells. Tiny blossoms drift above the ground like motes of hope. Reeds along streams play melodies when water passes through them. Vines lower themselves to form bridges or lash out to entrap. Everything is animate and reactive. Animals mirror and surpass their mortal counterparts. Deer with coats that shine like moonlight leave trails of luminescence. Their antlers glow. Wolves look at you with intelligent eyes that seem to understand your words. Foxes act as couriers for archfey, delivering messages sealed with leaves. Rabbits grow as large as ponies and can outrun horses. Birds wear plumage in gem-like colors and sing in harmonies that influence weather. Some animals speak directly, mind to mind, not because they know languages, but because the plane allows hearts to connect. Other creatures unique to the plane delight or terrify. Blink dogs teleport in flashes of joy. Yet hounds hunt by scent and sound, howling fear into travelers. Displacer beasts stalk with patient malice. Unicorns represent purity and can open paths. Giant sloths, aurochs, and armadillos evoke an age before mortals and move with grandeur. Tiny folk abound. Pixies flit, leaving trails of fragrant glitter. Sprites serve as scouts and judges of heart purity by tasting a drink and sensing intention. Brownies help with household chores in exchange for simple gifts. Redcaps, born of bloodshed, trample in iron boots and delight in violence. Each has its own code. Offend a brownie, and your home will fall into disarray. Please a sprite, and you may receive a warning of danger. The diversity of Fey aligns with the diversity of human emotions. There is a creature for every feeling and nuance. Magic permeates the mundane. Songs sung to plants cause them to grow or bloom. Stories told under the open sky manifest in miniature around the teller. A tale of bravery might conjure illusory knights cheering. A sad song might cause rain. Spells cast here are amplified and altered. A light spell might explode into a shower of colors. Healing magic might spread further than intended. Teleportation and divination behave unpredictably. The weave of magic itself tangles and untangles like a living thing. Some areas amplify spells, others negate them. Motes of pure magic drift like pollen. Catching one might grant you a temporary ability or insight. Knots of crossing energies create pockets where the usual rules invert. Healing may harm. Illusion may become real. Travelers must test and adapt constantly. There are also items and substances unique to this plane. Instruments crafted from starleaf oak can evoke specific emotions. Cloaks woven from spider silk enable stepping between shadows. Powders made from dried mushrooms enhance spellcasting. Crystals soaked in moonlight can detect lies. Liquids distilled from the tears of dryads can put giants to sleep. These treasures are rarely sold. They are gifted as part of bargains or found through quests. Their use binds you to the giver. Accepting such a gift without acknowledging the connection is dangerous. Meanwhile, substances like iron root sap burn Fey skin. They are sought by non-Fey to craft weapons. Harvesting them attracts guardians. Nothing is neutral. Each resource has a history and a spirit. The predators and dangers of the Feywild are as magical as its delights. Vampire briars sedate and drain life. Spores from certain flowers cause endless sleep. Mushrooms can explode loudly enough to attract predators. Whisper mold murmurs secrets that can drive travelers to obsession. Dreamcatcher ivy steals dreams. Iron root exudes sap that hurts Fey, but can empower mortals. Creatures like boggarts, kelpies, quicklings, and banshees each pose threats tied to specific emotions: spite, jealousy, impatience, sorrow. Hags twist desires into curses. Trolls demand tolls paid in memories or songs. Fomorians hide in caverns nursing ancient bitterness and lashing out at those who cross them. Danger is never random. It is always tied to how one behaves and feels. Life and magic are intertwined in cycles. Plants bloom in response to emotions. Animals feed on magic as much as matter. Predation is ritualistic rather than savage. Even decay glows with meaning. Fallen logs become nurseries for glowing mushrooms that hold the tree's memories. Leaves rot into mulch that nourishes new life. The Feywild teaches that death is part of life, and that everything participates in a continuous exchange. Understanding these cycles helps travelers respect the plane. It allows them to harvest without harming and to protect without destroying. The next section explores the structures of power that guide this wild life, and how courts and monarchs shape the land. The Feywild may appear lawless, but powerful beings impose their will in ways both subtle and overt. These beings, called archfey, gather courts around them. Courts in this context are not strictly structured organizations. They are circles of influence defined by favors owed, personal loyalty, and shared values. Each archfey embodies an aspect of the plane. They shape their realms and are shaped by them. The land answers to them, and they answer to the land. To approach an archfey is to approach the heart of a powerful emotion. The most famous divisions are based on seasons. The summer court represents growth, warmth, and joy. It is ruled by Titania, often depicted as an Eladrin maiden with golden hair. Her court is filled with music and laughter. Her feasts last for days. She rewards wit, charm, and generosity. Her followers include nymphs, satyrs, and bards. Mortals invited to her hall might receive gifts that inspire creativity or heal wounds. They might also be the butt of good-natured pranks. Titania's mood affects the weather. Her smile brings gentle rain. Her anger can scorch. Engaging with her requires sincerity and delight. Opposite is the winter court. It is associated with endurance, clarity, and harsh beauty. Ruled by Mab, sometimes called the Lady of Air and Darkness, it values strength and resilience. Mab is often described as carved from ice, with hair like night and eyes like stars. Her court is quiet, focusing on stories told in hushed voices and oaths spoken with weight. She rewards loyalty and punishes betrayal. Gifts from her might include a sword that never dulls or a cloak that hides you in snow. Her displeasure can trap you in a blizzard of sorrow. Interacting with Mab requires respect for rules and an understanding that softness is not weakness, but rather restraint. There is also the Unseelie Court, sometimes equated with winter, but actually representing the darker sides of Fey nature: trickery, secrecy, and freedom from convention. Its ruler is the Queen of Air and Darkness, a being whose true name was erased when she rebelled against her sisters. Her realm is a fortress of thorns and shadow. Her followers include hags, boggarts, and creatures that revel in mischief with a cruel edge. Yet even here there is artistry. Her halls shimmer with crystals. Her music is haunting. She grants power and knowledge in exchange for small slights that later become heavy burdens. To engage with her is to gamble with your fate. You may gain great strength or lose yourself to your own darker impulses. Beyond these major courts exist wild archfey who align with storms, autumn winds, waterfalls, or other natural phenomena. They create their own small domains. Some are solitary, others gather followers who share their passion. Alliances among archfey are fluid. They marry, feud, compete, and collaborate. A slight can spark a feud lasting centuries. A gift can forge an alliance. These relationships affect the land. When Titania and Mab compete in a contest of artistry, flowers might bloom in patterns across the plain. When they fight, storms might rage. Hierarchies within the courts are determined by favors. A being of low apparent status may wield immense power because a queen owes them a debt. Debts are incurred when you accept a gift or make a promise. Repayment may be demanded years later, at a pivotal moment. This system of obligation binds the social fabric. Mortals who bargain with Fey must be precise. Words spoken offhand can become oaths. Promises made in jest bind as strongly as those made in sincerity. Forgetting this can result in centuries of servitude or transformation into a creature suited to the work required. Etiquette in the courts is elaborate. Never sit before being invited. Never refuse food or drink without offering an equal gift. Never bring iron into an audience. Compliments must be genuine. Insults must be creative. Stories and dances are currency. To decline a dance is to show disrespect. To tell a poor story may result in banishment. Riddles soften refusals. Every gesture is weighted. These customs differ between courts, but share a focus on artistry and intention. Knowing the right form can turn a deadly encounter into a delightful one. The archfey themselves carry histories that shaped the plane. Legends tell that Titania, Mab, and the Queen of Air and Darkness were once sisters who argued over how to guide the realm. Their disagreement led to war. Mountains cracked, rivers reversed, and creatures twisted. In the end, one sister was exiled to the shadows and her name erased. The others agreed to govern separately. Their truce is uneasy. They test each other through competitions and proxy battles. Mortals caught between them can become pawns or heroes depending on how they play the game. Courts rise and fall. Archfey disappear or ascend. A mortal might become an archfey through deeds and time. The bard who played the perfect song. The ranger who hunted a mythical beast across the plain. Stories abound of such transformations. They remind us that identity is fluid here. The plane allows change, and sometimes demands it. Navigating these courts requires charm, bravery, caution, and luck. Respect the hierarchy and the rules. Understand that a gift accepted binds you. Speak carefully. Engage in riddles. Those who do can gain favor and protection. Those who do not may find themselves trapped in eternal service. The next section explores domains shaped by individual will and the depths beneath the twilight where secrets and dangers converge. The courts are more than seasonal dichotomies. They are living theaters where power plays out through pageantry, contests, and hunts. The Wild Hunt is a recurring event led by whichever archfey holds the mantle of the hunter at that time. When horns echo through the trees and the ground trembles with hooves, the hunt rides. They pursue those who have spilled blood unjustly or who have broken sacred bargains. To see the hunt is to see a cavalcade of riders cloaked in moonlight, their eyes glowing, their steeds breathing mist. Joining the hunt as a guest can grant you favor and the chance to call upon it in the future. Refusing a summons may mark you as prey. Yet participating has costs. You might be asked to chase someone you know. Your own sense of justice will be tested. Beyond the hunt courts host revels and debates where art and rhetoric settle disputes and shape alliances. These gatherings are places where performers and poets can rise in favor. Failure to meet expectations can lead to temporary servitude or loss of status. All interactions in these courts carry weight. Politics among the archfey are intricate. Alliances shift with mood and season. A warm summer might see Titania and Mab in harmony. A bitter winter might open old wounds. Lesser archfey curry favor by arranging marriages between spirits or presenting rare treasures from deep within the Feydark. Power flows through networks of debts and gratitude. A small kindness performed centuries ago can return at a critical moment. Knowing the history of a court's alliances can save your life. Within the Feywild, certain regions stand apart. These are domains of delight, demiplanes carved by archfey to reflect their essences. Each domain is a microcosm of its creator's mind. Landscapes shift between seasons and emotions. Prismeer is among the most famous. Its sky cycles through colors, and it contains areas of eternal autumn and icy lakes. Other domains might be endless gardens, deserts of glass, or cities carved from coral. They exist because their rulers manifested them. The laws inside are set by the ruler and can change. One domain may forbid lying. Another may require strangers to exchange stories before passing. Entering such a place is like stepping into a living being's thoughts. It can be enchanting and suffocating at once. Domains can collide when archfey quarrel or collaborate. Borders shift and overlap. When two domains meet, climates and terrains blend. Rivers cut across deserts, forests give way to glaciers. Creatures find themselves under conflicting rules. A plant that thrived in one domain may wither in the other. Mortals may be subject to two rulers' commands. Navigating these borders requires sensitivity to subtle shifts in sound, light, and scent. The laugh of a brook may turn into a hiss. The color of twilight may shift. Only those paying close attention will recognize they have crossed a line. Deep below the twilight forests lies the Feywild, a network of caves and tunnels that echo the mortal underdark, but glow with their own life. Stalactites drip water that sings. Fungi tower like trees and emit light in soft blues and greens. Crystals grow in clusters that hum when touched. Subterranean rivers reflect not the sky above, but the memories of those who look into them. Echoes of songs from the surface drift down and mingle with whispers from creatures who dwell here. The Feywild is vast and maze-like. Its geography shifts just like the land above. Fear can lengthen passages, courage can shorten them. Joy can cause mushrooms to bloom in your path. Sorrow might call forth thorns. The denizens of the depths differ from those above. Fomorians dwell in stone halls carved from giant stalactites. Their bodies are distorted by ancient curses. Their eyes contain magic that can cripple or enthrall. They harbor bitterness for past slights and covet the beauty of the upper world. Goblin kingdoms twist through the tunnels. Their markets are filled with gems and fungi. Hags brew potions from underground springs. Darklings and quicklings dart along walls and ceilings, serving as spies or assassins. Many of these beings have grudges against the courts above. They trade in secrets and rare minerals. Their alliances shift as easily as shadows. Entrances to the depths hide in unassuming places. A hollow tree trunk, a sinkhole in a meadow, a pool whose surface ripples inwards rather than outwards. Falling into the Feywild unintentionally can be fatal. The air is thick and stale in places. Pockets of toxic fumes drift. Navigation is hindered by tunnels that move. Yet there are wonders. Underground gardens bloom with bioluminescent flowers. Lakes of silver reflect stars from unknown skies. Caverns the size of cities house entire societies. The connection between the depths and the surface is constant. Laughter from a revel above can cause mushrooms below to glow. Tears shed in a cavern can cause rain to fall in the forest. Emotions travel through rock and root. The Feywild is not just a place of darkness. It is full of potential for transformation. Emotions shape the caves. Rage makes fungi glow red. Fear causes whispers to echo. Happiness makes crystals ring. Those who venture here must manage their emotions carefully. A careless thought can awaken a slumbering monster. A heartfelt song can open a path. The depths remind travelers that light and dark are parts of a whole. To appreciate the wonder of the Feywild, one must acknowledge its shadows. Ignoring the depths invites unexpected obstacles. Exploring them with respect can reveal hidden strengths. Understanding domains and depths completes the geographical picture. The plane is not uniform. It is layered and varied. Each layer reflects different aspects of the same living emotion. The next section will describe how the plane itself is a conduit for magic, and how phenomena unique to this realm affect those who draw on arcane power. Each domain of delight is a story told by an archfey, and mirrors their nature without ever being fully knowable. Some are lush forests, where summer never ends. Others are stark deserts of frost. Within one domain lies a garden where all plants whisper your name as you pass. Within another lies a canyon where stones glow with memories of laughter. The specifics of each domain change with its ruler's mood and the stories told about them. Boundaries between domains are rarely marked. You might walk through soft grass and suddenly feel stone beneath your feet. The scent in the air shifts from honey to salt. Recognizing such transitions is crucial, because a greeting appropriate to the new ruler can mean the difference between hospitality and hostility. The depths of the plane hold their own mysteries. Some underground lakes belong to dream weavers who send images to sleeping mortals. There are caverns where gravity plays tricks and tunnels loop in on themselves until you speak a truth you have never voiced. Traveling in these depths challenges your mind as much as your body. They remind you that darkness is not always to be feared. It can shelter and teach. The connections between domains and depths are purposeful. Rivers from icy courts feed warm meadows. Caves in the Feydark open into gardens above. These pathways allow energy and stories to flow. Festivals in one court can cause blossoms to appear elsewhere. Drought in the mortal world might be answered through a plea to a river spirit. The plane is a network of cause and effect. Understanding this web helps travelers move wisely and fosters respect for the unity underlying diversity. Magic suffuses the Feywild more deeply than in any other realm. It is not a hidden resource, but a visceral presence. Spells cast here are amplified and altered. A simple cantrip may create a spectacle. A powerful spell may have effects beyond the caster's intent. A light spell might spawn hundreds of glowing butterflies. A conjured flame might refuse to burn anything living. Teleportation can misfire, depositing you miles from your target or in another season. Divination can produce vivid but cryptic visions. The plane reacts to intent. If your heart is pure, your magic may be enhanced. If your motives are selfish, it may twist. Wild zones drift across the land like weather systems. In these pockets, the rules of magic fluctuate. Healing might harm. Illusions might become tangible. Spell ranges might double or shrink. Seasoned Fae know how to sense these zones through changes in temperature or a tingling in their skin. They use them strategically. A pixie might lure a pursuer into a zone where spells fail. A hag might anchor her hut in a zone that nullifies scrying. For travelers, it is vital to test the air before casting. Toss a pebble, sing a note, see how the land responds. The plane is dotted with fey sparks, motes of condensed magic that drift like pollen. Touching one can grant temporary abilities, a gift for languages, a burst of strength, a sudden burst of empathy. They can also impart visions of the future or the past. Some travelers chase these sparks, others avoid them, wary of unwanted insights. There are also knots in the weave where different planes brush. These knots invert normal magic. Healing might inflict pain. Shadows might reveal secrets. They can connect to other realms. A misstep could land you in the Shadowfell or the Astral Sea. Recognizing a knot is tricky. They often manifest as a sudden chill, a color shift, or a feeling of being watched. memory magic is common. Vines steal memories when brushed. Pools store memories offered voluntarily. Some creatures feed on memories. Hags cultivate memory vines to harvest secrets. Brownies guard pools that can relieve sorrow. The trade in memories forms an economy of its own. A painful memory might be offered in exchange for safe passage. A joyful memory might be stolen as a punishment. Travelers sometimes carry tokens to anchor their memories. They tie strings to fingers or wear jewelry with scents from home. This helps them recall who they are when the plane tries to blur the lines. Magic items crafted here are often living. Instruments made from star-leaf wood produce melodies that evoke specific emotions. Cloaks woven from spider silk allow the wearer to step between shadows. Rings set with moonlit crystals glow when lies are spoken nearby. Potions brewed from dew and flower petals can grant invisibility or induce laughter. These items are rarely traded openly. They are offered in exchange for stories, services, or favors. Their power binds the user to the maker. Accepting such an item means carrying a piece of the Feywild with you. It can mark you as friend or foe of certain beings. Outside of formal spells, everyday actions carry magical weight. A song can summon rain. A dance can cause the ground to glow. A story told with sincerity can manifest tiny images acting out the events. Laughter can calm storms. Tears can call wind. Everything is connected. For this reason, the Fae take art seriously. They see songs and stories as spells. They value creativity and authenticity. When a mortal sings poorly but honestly, Fae may weep and offer help. When someone sings beautifully but hollowly, they may walk away. The plane's magic rewards the genuine heart. Understanding the phenomena and power of the Feywild is crucial for anyone who uses magic. It requires flexibility and humility. You must be prepared for anything. You must test and observe. You must respect the living weave. This sets the stage for understanding the stories of those who have experienced these forces firsthand. The next section will present encounters and lessons from travelers who have walked the Twilight paths and what they learned. Storms in the Feywild differ from those in the mortal realm. Rain may fall upwards and lightning may trace glowing lines across valleys. Thunder can echo like laughter. These storms reflect the mood of the land. When an archfey mourns, you might see lightning shaped like tears. During celebrations, petals may shower from the sky. Some storms even rain memories. Stand beneath one, and you will glimpse lives not your own. These phenomena inspire caution because magic cast during them can merge with ambient energy in unpredictable ways. The wise wait out a storm with song rather than risk losing themselves. Hidden beneath the surface are rivers of raw magic that hum beneath your skin when you cross them. Stepping into one can replenish or overwhelm your power. These currents shift and are used by creatures and rulers alike. Learning to sense them allows you to ride them or avoid them. Misjudging their strength can sweep you away to other realms. Stories breathe life into descriptions. They show how abstract concepts play out in real journeys. Many stories begin with a seeker drawn by curiosity. A bard hears a melody in a dream and follows it through a willow. He finds pixies dancing and plays along. He stops before dawn at the whisper of a sprite and receives a gift of healing in return. He returns home after a night and uses the gift to save a child. He learns that joy can be a gift when tempered by caution. Another tale recounts a mercenary who stumbles into the realm while chasing a foe. She encounters a white elk who speaks mind to mind and asks for protection. She defends the creature and is shown visions of a life of connection she had never allowed herself. When she returns, her heart has changed. She seeks out companionship instead of conflict. The Feywild changed her path by revealing her deepest longing. There are cautionary tales. A group of adventurers bargains with a hag for safe passage and pays with secrets. They think they have escaped unscathed. Later, those secrets manifest as fears, guilt, and betrayal that test their bonds. Another story tells of a scholar who tries to map the plane using mirrors and is trapped by her own reflection. She becomes part of the realm she tried to catalogue. These stories warn against hubris and highlight that even agreements made willingly have consequences. The plane keeps receipts. It uses what you give it. If you give fear, you will encounter fear. If you give kindness, you may receive it in unexpected ways. There are stories of reciprocal kindness. A farmer who helps an injured Spriggan child is visited by the child's mother, a towering green woman. She grants him fertile fields. Even during a drought, his crops flourish. The moral is that compassion towards even the smallest creatures can yield great blessings. Another legend is of the wild hunt. When the twilight deepens and a horn sounds, riders emerge. They chase those who have spilled blood without cause. If you call upon them properly, they might aid you in hunting a monster, but always at a price. These tales illustrate that justice in the Feywild is not rooted in human law, but in balance. Excess cruelty invites pursuit. Proper petitions can enlist forces beyond mortal strength, but at a cost. Encounters in the depths show that not all darkness is evil. Travelers guided by a darkling repay him with secrets and are safely led to their friend. They discover that trust can exist even in shadow. Merchants who approach goblin markets with respect can trade mushrooms for crystals and leave with more than they expected. They learn that generosity begets generosity. There are also tales of those consumed by greed or pride. Warlocks who bargain for power spend lives paying off the debt. Children who wander in and return decades later, aged only hours, can never reintegrate fully because they no longer belong wholly to either world. Musicians who play so well that the streams stop still pay by losing their ability to play for others. Each story emphasizes that no interaction is neutral. The plane tests and teaches through experience. Listening to these stories reveals patterns. Respect the rules, even when they are unspoken. Offer gifts freely. Mean your compliments. Keep your promises. Guard your words. Do not assume a smile means safety. Do not assume darkness means evil. Seek guidance from those who know. Pay attention to subtle cues, colors shifting, sounds changing, sense intensifying. Trust your feelings. They may guide you more reliably than any map. Above all, recognize that the plane wants you to grow. It offers challenges and rewards accordingly. It will not coddle you, but it will respond to your genuine heart. These stories form the living lore of the Feywild. They are told and retold, often changing with each telling. They remind us that the plane is not an objective place. It is shaped by those who experience it. Every new traveler adds a thread. Every encounter teaches a lesson. Your own story will be influenced by those you have heard. As you step into Twilight, you carry with you the wisdom of those who walked before. You will add your own to the tapestry, whether you return to tell it or become part of the whispers in the wind. A more hopeful legend is told of a group of children who stumbled through a gate while playing. They were found by a dryad who welcomed them. She taught them to dance and to listen to the trees. When it was time to return, they had grown in heart and mind. They could hear whispers in leaves and taste colors in rain. They never forgot the lessons. They became healers and artists. Every year they returned to the same grove to leave gifts. In return, the trees grew fruit that cured illness and songs that eased sorrow. Their story shows that the plain is not merely a trap. It is a teacher. Those who meet it with openness and respect can bring back blessings for their community. As our exploration draws to a close, we stand again at the edge of Twilight. The tales we have heard and the images we have painted linger like the taste of honeyed dew. The Feywild is not a place you can fully know from outside. Reading about it is like seeing a reflection in a pond. The true experience requires stepping through the water and feeling the current. Yet even through these words, the realm reaches out. It invites you to consider your own relationship with your feelings, with nature, with magic. It asks if you are ready to enter a world that will reflect you back and change you in the process. We have learned that the Feywild is a world where every footstep matters and every breath resonates. Emotion shapes the ground. Time flows like a song. Gates open and close with the moon. Life thrives in impossible colors. Power is wielded through art and favor. Domains reflect their makers. Depths conceal beauty and danger. Magic is a partner in everyday acts. Stories are alive. All of these elements combine into a realm that is both terrifying and mesmerizing. It is a place of contrasts and balances. It can grant boons beyond imagining and exact prices without warning. For those who feel the call, know that you do not walk there alone. Others have gone before. Their footsteps have carved paths. Their songs linger in the air. Their bargains have shaped the rules. You can learn from them. Bring respect in your heart and gifts in your hands. Be ready to give and to receive. Be prepared to lose some things and gain others. Understand that your story will become part of the place. Whether you return or remain, the Feywild will carry your laughter, your tears, your songs. In exchange, it will offer you experiences that cannot be found anywhere else. When you return to the mortal world, if you do, the twilight of the Feywild will remain within you. You may see its colors in dawn and dusk. You may hear its melodies in bird song. You may feel its pulse in the earth under your feet. These are reminders that the boundary is thin and that your heart has room for more than one world. The Feywild is a realm of living emotion. It lies in the spaces between day and night, between dreams and waking, between who you are and who you could be. May you carry its lessons with reverence, and may your own story enrich the tapestry of those who follow. Reflection doesn't end at the boundary. Those who return often find that their senses are permanently tuned to subtler frequencies. They may notice the way a flower bends towards a particular person, or how a shadow seems to linger around someone burdened with sadness. They might taste bitterness in the air before a storm, or sweetness in the wind when joy is near. These sensitivities can be overwhelming. Some who return withdraw, unable to bear the mundane world's bluntness. Others dedicate themselves to bridging worlds. They become storytellers, guiding youth into respectful engagement with nature. They plant seeds from the plain in hidden gardens and create spaces where the spirit of twilight can be felt. These acts ensure that their connection continues. Remember that the Feywild can become a siren call, tempting you to abandon your responsibilities. Some yearn to return so deeply that they neglect those around them. Balance is the lesson. Carry what you have learned into your life. Do not seek to escape into memory. Let the glimmer of twilight remind you to be present in your world, and to see magic in the everyday. In doing so, you honor both realms.